What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Arias in the Nation. And I have a very special guest on the channel. Viking Reacts. What is
Cool.
going on? Yes, thank you. Thank you for carving out some time to be on this channel, man.
You
Always
are most welcome.
it's always good to be able to connect. I think I've said this in a couple of our interviews before. It's like the more of these kind of videos that exist on the internet or on YouTube, the smaller, less expansive it feels. When
Yes.
we're connected, it's like because everyone in our comments already knows each other. Like they see each other all over the place. So it's like I want us to be as connected as them. You know.
Isn't it cool that whenever you go to another reactor's videos and into the comments, you always see the same people that are actually on
Yes.
your channel?
Yes, I love it. I love it. It makes it feel less expansive, man. And that's where I'm just like, dude, this is home. This is I welcome everyone that jumps onto, let's say, the YouTube creative side of things. It's because it helps the whole community. It just makes the family a little bit bigger.
Oh, for
You
sure it
know,
does. But when you so many people when you start out, they look at other people that do the very same thing as competitors, and I've mentioned this to you. I don't see it as competitors. I see it
no,
as another member of a community, basically.
yes, we are 100% coworkers. We are 100%
Exactly.
coworkers. Speaking of everyone kind of knowing each other in the comment section, man. I found you through, let me see, when I reacted to Hallelujah.
Hmm.
That's that's how I found you. Like, because I don't know about you, man. Like after I do a reaction, then that after that reaction is done, then it unlocks everyone's reactions for me.
Oh my god, exactly.
It's like it's so frustrating. It's just like I gotta get to it. I want to get to it, so I can't. Like, it's almost like I can't support my friends doing this until I do it, and then I'm like all in, and then I'm all in.
But not only that, when you really, really, really like an artist, all you want to do, at least in my case, all you want to do is just binge that artist, and you can't because you want to
Oh,
freaking react to this stuff.
it it my YouTube. I used to like I was saying this before. I used to use YouTube for like hacks, like life hacks, and
Yeah.
like different mechanical stuff, just tips and tricks. And now, man, my whole world has opened up because of music reactions.
Yeah.
So my blinders are on because it might be like I live in this weird bubble. Like
Hmm.
I was dying for like the Electric Callboy, the Ratatata, like that one. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the music video, not the audio. I was like, oh my God, I can't listen to it. I want to listen to it. I want to binge all the back catalog instantly because that's how I feel like, at least me, I like to absorb music that way. I can't just absorb it one song at a time. I'll go crazy. So
And I still do go crazy.
yeah, yeah. I think this is just a just a continuous thing. We're
That
just
was
constantly going crazy.
that was Nightwish. That was Sabaton. Was the very
Yes.
same thing. I just want to listen to it, and like, especially because I have a brother-in-law who absolutely loves the same music, even a little bit like the heavier stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Did you hear this song?" No, I haven't yet, and you're not gonna play
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. We just stick to the old classics that everyone's heard.
Yeah.
Like, but slowly your playlists start getting a little bit bigger, a little bit
Yes.
rounder, and it's like, man, I love it. It's been a I don't know how it is where you're at geographically. Over here, our radio is complete garbage in the US. We
Same.
live under a big rock. I didn't know symphonic metal existed. I just didn't. I was not in that reference that I
Oh,
had.
I knew, but
You knew. So
yeah.
it was just a whole mind altering, like I had to rethink my moves. And I'm like, man,
But it's a very different world for you if you look at the states when we're talking about metal bands in general. when they play there, like especially, I'm not sure about American bands, but when you're talking European bands, what from what I've heard, they play like small venues. Over here, they basically rent off like football stadium.
Yes, yes. Like what was it Judas Priest that opened for, or no, that was it Sabaton and Judas Priest, right? They were touring the U.S.
Yeah,
and it was, I think, what was it? I'm trying to think. I'm not trying to put my foot in my mouth, but I do that on a daily anyway.
it's a good
But
job.
they when they toured the US, it was like more smaller venues, like you said, and they needed like the big headliner. They weren't the headliner, or they're never the headliner. It's always and
Hmm.
someone else. And it's interesting because I'm like, oh, who's this? Who's this band? You think, okay, they're up and coming, right? You go across the pond and they're
Nope.
like, they're like selling out country size
Huge.
audiences.
Yeah.
Huge. And I'm like,
60
man.
it like I live very close by close to Amsterdam.
Okay.
Um, so there's a soccer stadium. Uh, Ajax Amsterdam. People from the Netherlands will know.
Okay.
Um, I think it holds 60 to 100,000 people when they open the floor for the crowd, and they
Wow.
sell it out. Metallica was there a while ago. They sell
That's
out like night after night after night.
see, like that's we don't have that here. Like we have nothing even close to that hype. And that's what I've gravitated towards is like the crowds and the love and the support within the metal community absolutely blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. I thought we were talking about throwing down with like punches and I don't know what you know what I mean? Like it just looks unapproachable, but actually the most loving, most accepting, the most amazing community that
Is
exists
metal.
out there. Talk about a rough package. Talk about don't ever judge a book by its cover at all. At all.
There's a well, famous. There's a small town close to where my mom lives, and they every year they have a mini festival. Like this is a town of like 5,000 people, right? So
Mhm,
they have like a mini festival, and first half of the day is metal, hard rock. Second
mhm.
half of the day, like going into the night, is something like trance hard style, that kind of thing. There wasn't a fight the entire day. Everybody's
Crazy.
partying together. Those are
So
the meanest looking guys, and everybody's celebrating music.
it
Within 10 minutes, people got thrown out when Artstyle started. People got thrown
mhm.
out because they attacked guards and everything. So it was canceled within
but
10 minutes.
not the not the metal part. You know what I mean?
No,
Like I that to me just shocked me completely. I was like, man, this is if I had known. You know, I'm a firm believer of like music coming into your life when it's supposed to, right? And I really feel like my younger self wasn't ready to appreciate the legendariness of some of these bands. And now that I'm on this side with my headphones in and I can actually zone in and give it the time of day,
they
it's
help,
been
huh?
life changing. Oh my god.
Headphones help.
Oh my god. Like
It's a
yeah,
very different
100%.
experience, I've noticed.
Yes, yes. Usually I was just in my phone, just like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. You put these guys on, different,
It's different.
different world, man.
I had comments on the newest Nightwish where I'm like, I absolutely loved this song, and I see there's so much hate for it because of the mix is off. I'm like, but I listened to this on headphones, and I I don't know what you're talking about.
It's I think the anticipation for the new Nightwish, right? It was just
That may have been it.
heavily anticipated, and it was it's very deep, right? It's like well
And I
thought
like that.
out. And man, it is just you could tell it's obviously nothing they do is like a throwaway song or a filler song. It's they don't make for me, Nightwish
No,
hasn't made one misstep at all.
Thomas can't go simple.
No, no, except
Hmm.
for that. What was it? The very first one where he sung. Have you heard that one? The Carpenter or
Oh, I don't think I have.
okay. Well, I won't spoil it for you. Anyway, there's a a Tomas
Did I?
voice out there.
Did I?
There's a
Wait, is it
Tomas
is it
track.
is it a song where he sings with his wife?
No, no, I don't think so. This was I'm talking about like beginning Nightwish. Like
I might have to check that out.
it's old. It's old.
Well,
And I
now
mean,
you got me curious though.
it's very interesting. It's a very interesting song. But it's and that ties with like the knowledge some of the people in our community have about these bands. And it's just it makes it such a more full experience and absorbing these artists that we have on our channels. Like I don't think I would have gone down such an extensive, let's say, Nightwish rabbit hole if it wasn't for the people leaving these essay long comments. You
Yo,
know, just
yes,
just full of comments. I'm like, man, how long?
people
And they're like,
writing books in the comments.
books, books.
I
I
know.
appreciate that. You know, I always love the comments. I mean, there's that's kind of how I get my secondhand knowledge from it all, because you have your diehard fans that know more about it than, let's say, some article that was published. Like they know the ins and outs and the
And they combined
intricacies
all
of
of them.
yeah, yeah, and it's just like that's where you get the full story of the band is the comment section, and I love that. But if I can more about you, man. What? Because this is not going to turn into a Nightwish podcast. Trust me, guys. I'm
No.
sorry that listening. Like, don't worry. They're doing just fine without us talking about them all the time. What about you? What is your story? What forced you? Not forced you. I hate. Why did I say that?
Mm.
What made you choose this path on YouTube? This outlet.
It's not a very very complicated story. It's not a very lengthy one. It took a while to get me here, but it's actually like I was always always listening to music because of my dad. So I was raised on Queen, the Beatles, and like all sorts of 80s, 70s, like Deep Purple was a huge part. That kind of music always got with me, so I already
Mhm.
had some sort of appreciation for the better music, if you will,
Yes.
because I feel it's the better music. Um, those are true artists. So no auto tune, no nothing. Just proper singing, proper instrumentation, everything. So
Yeah.
I was raised on that. Uh, from what I've read and learned, is that people with ADHD have a stronger reaction to music. I always had a very strong reaction to music, both physical and emotional.
Yeah.
So I loved to watch shows like America's Got Talent, and
Okay.
see those eventually the golden buzzers and everything. And the things I loved the most were like the older songs where you had people doing Sinatra, for instance. There was a Italian pizza guy who sang Sinatra. I'm like, dude, this guy is so freaking good. And a lot of them would tear me up, not just because of the story, but because of the sheer brilliance of the voice or of what they were trying to convey. At some point, just before COVID hit, I started with my initial round of burnout. Therapist told me that you need a win every day, something you really enjoy.
Hmm.
Like, you know what? For me, that's music, listening to music. I start watching other reactors, people like Tank the Tech, Charismatic Voice, Julia Nilon. I don't know how to pronounce the last name,
Hmm.
but I start watching these people. Like Julia had me laughing with her Pisces reaction, where she basically like made gorilla sounds. I'm like, I can do this. I can do this. So I thought, what is a song that means a lot to me? Well, I used to dance. I used to perform in a theater, and I did Phantom of the Opera. Saw Nightwish reactions, and I'm not gonna go for Ghost Love Score because everybody does that, and I hadn't
Yeah.
seen that one because I knew I
Okay.
was going to do this. I'm going to start over with Phantom of the Opera. So that's basically how I rolled into
Man.
it.
Man. And that led into everything else. Everything
Yes,
else.
and that was a very very quick first 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
But like, I used to do gaming live streams, and I made videos gaming, and it took me like a few years to get to 3-4 thousand people doing that. And now, like within a month, I have 1,000 subscribers. So what happened?
Yeah.
I
It's
think
it,
within a week.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Some of these fan bases are absolutely amazing. Like they just travel with the band and they they fight for their band all the time, and it's a great thing. It's a great thing,
Yep.
honestly. Um, how do you? So you said you were gaming first, right? Did it take a long time to kind of like switch into reactions? Like, oh, I can just do you still game? I guess is the roundabout way of what I'm trying to.
I still game, but I don't stream the games. I
Okay.
intend to, but then some capture card broke. So
Oh yeah,
as
yeah.
a
Oh yeah, man,
yeah,
man.
well that happened.
Hey,
Yeah, no, I intend to, but it's I don't play as much. I used to play a game called Paladins,
okay.
which is basically an Overwatch clone. Like to be completely honest, it's just an Overwatch clone basically. But there's this guy who was the world champion, uh, esports world champion in Paladins, and I used to play with him, and I got to. That's like the one game I was actually good at because of
Nice.
this.
Because you
So
played with the guy and you're like, he just that's I that side of the niches, that side of like the streaming stuff and the gaming stuff always intrigued me. I have a very addictive personality, so I feel like I'm not I'm not gonna open that can of worms because I know
no,
it would absolutely consume me,
yes,
and
there's either
that
on or off.
yes, yes, and it takes a whole hell of a lot to turn that off for me.
Yeah.
Um, but okay, so the YouTube rabbit holes, how have you managed to kind of juggle all these uh, like people that fan bases, right, of different artists you have on at different times in your channel throughout like throughout the week? Is it hard to kind of sort of divvy up what videos you get to first, or have you developed this calendar kind of, I did them, next time I'm going to do them is so and so spread out?
No, I had sort of a schedule quickly from the beginning. I had a specific day for Nightwish. I had a specific day for Sabaton. And at some point, you get through most of the really good ones, and then you start getting requests for the more niche songs. And eventually, you'll find out that those don't really attract the crowd either. And I personally don't mind, but the algorithm does. So you have
Yeah.
to kind of make choices somewhere. On occasion, I will throw it out simply because I want to listen to it because I don't actually really care about it because I
Hmm.
just want to listen to good music.
Yeah.
Uh, but I did learn that if you want your channel to not die, you have to follow it to a degree.
It's unfortunate, right? I feel
Yeah,
like it's unfortunate because like you're on this journey of discovery and everyone's on this journey with you, and seeing your appreciation for new music, and that's intrinsically just riveting, right?
yeah,
And it's unfortunate that you have this thing on your back, on our backs, kind of like, you better keep it up, you better have this and this ready to go, or else you'll get lost, like your
yep.
channel will get lost. And it's easy with people popping up left and right every day. It's like you that's I feel like that's a stress that not a lot of people talk about. It's like
Yeah.
you gotta, you enjoy the music, you want to do the music, and it's like YouTube is over there like, this is the way to possibly do it, and this is the way you want to do it, and a lot of times they don't intersect.
And I used to feel that stress, but I have been through burnout twice. So I am now I am the guy who picks my battles. I'm like,
Nice.
do I really want to do this way? No, I don't. So I won't.
Yeah.
Will it hurt my growth? Yes, it will. I can see that. I can see it in the analytics. But do I really care? No, because in at the end of the day, all that really matters is if me going downstairs and be a proper dad and a proper husband. If I'm stressed out, burned out, I won't be. Number one is still my family.
Yep. Yep. Always. Always, man. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yes.
I jumped in this thinking that I could make everyone happy and somehow maintain some sort of semblance of sanity, right? and I hit the burnout like going 70 miles an hour into a brick wall. I just it was overwhelming.
If you start YouTube, your sanity is already gone.
100%. 100%. Like to everyone else in my household that like sees me or listens to me right now, they don't hear your voice. I'm basically talking to myself in a room. Like
Mhm.
from the outside in, I'm already insane. So that's yeah, that's actually pretty funny. But the burnout is 100% real, and that's one of those questions I always ask people that are on this side of things. It's like, how do you combat it? Because we all have different ways. We all have different ways, and it helps that you've already gone through a couple of burnouts, man. You know, I
And
feel like I'm
therapy.
just yeah, there you go. And I'm sort of just pulling myself up from a burnout. I was doing like 3 videos a day for like 3 months, like every day, and I just
That's too much.
it was too much because you devote some energy, some emotion, some a little piece of yourself into these reactions because music is a healing experience. It's a big experience, especially if it moves you like it does, you know. And so you get drained after a couple of reactions. Like it's a weird mental, at least for me, it's a mental draining, and I didn't have a way to combat that. I would
Mm.
just pedal to the metal. I live forever. That's not the case. I had
No.
to
It's a
slow it down.
very weird balance of music giving you joy and reactions basically draining you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's in a very good way, but yeah, like there's a reaction I did to well, people will know, to Dan Vask, Heart of Steel,
Hmm.
where he basically is asking for awareness for suicide. Can I say? I'm not even sure if I
Yeah.
can say it
That's
on YouTube.
I'm fine. If it's
Like
on my
like
channel, don't worry.
suicide awareness, basically. And I
Yeah.
had my cousin who killed himself 1.5 months ago.
Mm.
So that is a very draining, but also a very uplifting song. If you listen to his, well, first of all, the lyrics and the talk he does it up front. So it goes both ways.
Yes. It's it's an emotionally taxing
Yes.
experience, you know, where you're 100%. And but yeah, man, I'm sorry to hear about that, by the way, man. Um, and Dan Vask, man, I enjoy your reactions to Dan Vask the most. They're awesome. The way you connect, and I have you. How do I'm trying to word this the right way. I saw you react to Tommy Johansson, and you're on a Dan Vask journey, right? And I'm not going to ask you which one's your favorite because that's not fair. That's not fair to anyone.
I'll
Um,
answer.
okay, all right. How? All right. Who's your favorite?
Dan.
There you go. There you go. All right. I kind of knew where that was going. I kind of already knew where that was going before I asked that question. And honestly, it's awesome. Like you find these artists out there that you really get behind, and one of those artists for me, believe it or not, was Electric Callboy. Believe it or not,
Dude,
like
I believe you instantly.
I just I've never heard anything like that. And the dudes have fun and they make good music, and I'm like, I'm here for this party. Whatever this
Yes.
is, we won't ruin it by
Everything is a
labeling it.
everything is a party when you listen to them.
Yeah, it's high energy. I don't know why. Like afterwards, you're just sweating. You're like, what happened? I don't know. I'm here.
I was sweating
Yeah,
afterwards.
you're just like, I don't know what happened, but I'm soaked for some weird reason. I'm gonna go take a shower, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it's a
And
party. You're supposed to.
yeah, right. Um, so in this world of YouTube, I feel like a lot of people don't understand what it takes, like to when they watch one of your reactions, it's it's that right there, that moment that's captured. That's like 10%, I feel like, of the work. And then the fun part, I'm kidding, guys, everyone, this is sarcasm. The fun part is behind it, getting everything up and ready and scheduled, and it's kind of like a fear of mine. I get like anxiety, like pouring a bunch of stuff into these reactions and then going to hit upload, and then it's like you play the game, then it's like, is it going to go through? Is it not going to go through? And that's one of those things that I'm trying to combat. And I don't know if, since you're in a different, let's say different area, do things tend to go up more so for you than you see in the, I guess, in our footprint of reactors? Like, do you see more videos going up for you and that others can't get to?
You mean copyright
Yes.
related on what?
Yes.
I don't really tend to look at that actually.
Okay.
I've had quite a few like the first steps within copyright. Like everybody can see it, but you're not going to get anything.
Yeah.
That's like the easiest. That's the one you always get.
Yeah.
So that gets disputed right away. Usually, well, they friendly decline your request, if you will.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but without actually watching the video. So if you pre-upload a lot, and you see that it has been declined with 0 views, that's where my fun starts, because I will challenge that. I will appeal it. And I said,
Nice.
but you never actually check the video, and you're kind of supposed to by YouTube's guidelines.
Yeah. Kind of. You're
So
supposed to.
what are we going to do? Are you going to actually check it this time, or let it through within 7 days?
Yeah.
Simply
Yeah.
ignore my request, and then usually they let it through.
See, that's the way. That's the way to go, man. Like everyone
I
gets
learned
that
that from
first.
Tank the Tech.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's an amazing guy.
I've recently, when I say recently, I would say within the past couple of Electric Callboy songs, found him. Because he, like, you check a couple videos out, and then everyone else starts popping up on your YouTube home for you. And I saw him, and he does some epic breakdowns. I feel like I am the music absorber. I don't know a lot about music. I'm not a guitarist to
Same.
save my life. I am not the lyric breakdown guy. I'm the one that absorbs.
Dude,
That's
I'm
just
just a nerd. Look, if you look behind me, you see all the pictures. There's Star Trek, Star Wars. There's like charmed actors, Harry Potter actors. Like there's
yeah.
everything.
Hey man,
So I'm a nerd. I don't play
hey,
music.
but still, man, that's awesome, awesome background, man. For real, dude.
But usually there's this green screen in front of it. But
I like your background, man. It's very hell yes. Like, I will go to battle with you any day, man. Just call me up and we'll
you have a
ride. Give
pleasant
me
ship.
like, give me a good give me a good 23 hours to get there. But I got you.
But bring your axe.
100%, 100%. You have it there right next to you, just in case.
Of course, this is my bottle opener. Like I have.
I have a bottle opener. Where's mine? Mine's right there, but it's a katana thing. So,
I have that somewhere.
I yeah, it's just like I just pull out. Here's my weapons. No, but
Oh.
but yeah, man, it's pretty. I love being part of this, and I love seeing reactors and like the community that's surrounded, because the community that is behind us is absolutely glorious, dude.
I have just
I
noticed.
watched your video, man. I almost cried, man. That was just like, that's so awesome that people come out, man. Like, that's
But try and ask for help.
it's
It's
it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. 100%.
I still feel awkward.
Yeah, but you know what though? Hear me out on this. It's a blessing to have them in our community, and for them to be so kind and loving and accepting, but also so giving, and it's just because they give us their time every day, and it's just like, wow. I don't know. It's overwhelming when you step back. You're like, dude, I'm just a dude here doing nothing.
Whenever I premiere a video and I have people in my chat and they say, "Oh, thank you so much, thank you so much," I'm like, "Why are you thanking me? You're watching. You are watching the video I made. Thank you."
Right? Yeah, it's like I don't know how to respond. It's like, wait, well, no, thank you for watching. No, thank you for making it. Like, what? What is? I'm thanking you first. How dare you thank me
Yeah, but
first?
I'm like I'm doing what I enjoy, right? I'm listening to music. All I do is whilst I enjoy and discover this music, I put a camera on my face.
Yeah.
So thank you
Yep.
for actually watching this
Well,
idiot.
what happens, man, is like they come for their favorite artist, right? And then they end up staying for you, man. That's that's what it is.
Oh, I figured that one out yesterday.
Yeah, man. I absolutely love that. I think that's super super special, super important. And I'll put that link in this video so they can support, man. You're building a PC, right? A whole
Yes.
you're building a whole space shuttle.
There's
What
there's a few parts right there.
man. Man, but it's a blessing. It's actually amazing. So, and that's what I was trying to tie into is like this community that we're in, that we're a part of, is so loving, so huge, so connected, just like the bands. I didn't know the over here bands, I feel like, can be super petty and diva-ish, right? And this just very,
Yeah.
it's only them that exists. Across the pond, man, it's love. It's like all interwoven, interconnected. I mean, just look at freaking Arion, for instance. Like I mentioned this before. Arion is just, who's not there? Riddle me that.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to say who's didn't make it.
You mentioned Valhalla, that video.
Hmm.
That's I think that may have been the first video I had the actual band contact me or basically like leave a comment. They left a comment. They laughed their asses off when they were watching the video.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm like, and the best part is that they're actually like they're nerds themselves. Like they're scientists, right? At least one of them is. I'm
Yeah.
sure in a field that I really enjoy as well. So I'm like,
Oh,
okay, so not only are you an artist I really, really enjoy, and you make me laugh, and then I make you laugh with my reaction, and you have similar interests. So I'm like, okay, I'm happy now.
we've just become best friends. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Like,
I don't care.
yeah,
You left one comment, we're now friends.
yeah, that's it. That's all it takes. My
Yes,
bar of entry is very low.
yeah.
I
Even
love
if you
that.
forget me, we're still
Yeah,
friends.
we're still friends. I'll be your friend. You don't have to be mine, but
Yeah.
I'll be yours any day. But no, those guys, man, I love when artists just have fun with music and are good at music. Sorry, very important caveat too, and are good musicians,
Yep.
because that's what they are. And it's cool that like they commented. That's so neat, man. Like you never know who's watching. It,
The
it's
the
crazy.
producer of Sabaton's song at some point. I'm going to mess this one up. Sorry, because I don't speak Swedish. But Leave Guarded. So the that
Sounds
song.
right, man. Yep.
You have the video, and at some point I got a comment from the producer of the very video saying that you are one of two people who spotted this.
Wow. What? That's massive praise, my friend.
I still get the goosebumps.
That's so cool, man.
I
I
loved it.
he it's there's just love, man, and it keeps blowing my mind every day I wake up. I'm like, dude, this community is one of the best, and I love seeing um like comments from our community on other people's channels, and it's just like this is what it is. This I didn't know this part of the internet existed, to be honest. Internet was
No,
been,
because they talk about toxicity like everywhere, right?
yeah,
It's not all
everywhere.
that. Yeah.
No, this we're very fortunate to be where we are. um so with have you how do I preface this? It's a big question. Maybe it's a big question, I'm not too sure. My
Those are the
brain's all over
best.
the place. Do you have plans to possibly bring some of these bands you've reacted to onto the channel for like a chit chat at some point?
Yep, that's exactly the plan.
Yes, man, I can't wait to see those, man. I can't
That
wait.
is
That's
exactly what I'm trying to sort out how to do, and I was actually trying to figure out how to do like basically what we're doing right now. So I was
okay.
like, how do they do that? Because I watch the Fear the Beardo live streams with
Hmm.
Dan Busk, obviously.
Okay.
And they have this exact same setup that we're having right now in this very video. So how did I do that? Because I never knew how to get a second webcam in, and now you invited me, so thank you very much because I
Yes.
now know how to do this.
Yes. There. It's insanely simple. You
Yep.
know. And it's great because if you're talking to, let's say, an artist that's like on the go all the time or touring or whatever, this is a great way to just
Yep.
like, hey,
So one of the reasons I started to react to people like Tommy again is, first of all, I really do like him. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong, but I feel he's very good. But Dan does more.
I
Dan Busk
gotcha.
has he's more versatile. Like Tommy
Okay.
Johansson can he sings very clean. He can sing very high, and he produces his songs and his videos very well. I actually really enjoyed the Money 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 video that I did
Yeah.
not too long
Yeah.
ago. I really enjoyed that one because it's just simply yet again a party. But there's something to Dan. There's more grit, more oomph, more masculinity to it, which I like.
Yeah. Yeah. I can
But
see that.
the plan is to get Tommy on. So I'm like, I do like you. I want to get you on, but I better show you something that I reacted to, and not like half a year to a year ago.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. No,
So
for sure, man.
there's a plan to it,
There always has to be. There's a method to the madness, right? There's a method to the madness for sure.
as long as you stay
Um.
authentic.
Yeah. 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 You have to, man. That's the only way to be. I sometimes I see these people that are like in this for the wrong reasons, and I'm not ever going to drop names ever. That's not my style, but it's like you got to have a connection to what you're doing to make it enjoyable, because if you have a good time, people watching you are going to have a good time.
Yeah,
And I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Ask me 5 years ago if I was going to be doing YouTube reactions. No, that wasn't the plan ever for
nope.
me. I just kind of sort
It
of,
just happened.
it just happened. And I'm
Yeah.
like, man, okay, here we go. So, you know, I the
If you
yeah.
only do it for the money, sorry to interrupt you, but if you only do it for the money, this channel would have been dead 2 years ago.
You can make money on this? You know what I
You
mean?
can.
Like,
Like
you know.
I can be very honest. I think I make about 200 to 300 euros a month on YouTube.
Oh, nice, man. Nice. And that's
Groceries.
I yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Life
You
is too
know,
expensive.
it is insane. Like, I'm scared to even open the door and go outside because it's going to cost insane amounts of money. Like,
Yeah,
that's
you
just
watch
how
the
it
sun.
is.
You watch the sun go up. Shit, $200. Yeah,
Yeah. Like, how did that happen? And that's for the month? Like, damn. Like,
yeah.
just keep it down. Keep it down. But no, man, it's a pretty interest. Like, you have to enjoy what you're doing on this side of YouTube. Like, you gotta love it, man. And that's something that I really appreciate, and I get from your videos and from your community, is like you offer that micro break away from reality for a brief second. If anything, you offer a step away from reality, and that's worth more than anything for
That's the
some
whole
people that
point.
are really going through it, that connect
Yeah.
with the same music, and they're able to transport themselves to either a nostalgic time or sharing a new moment with you
Mhm.
you know and that's so important. That's so important. And the interesting thing is, I don't know, when you're doing your reactions, right? When you have your list of artists that you're looking at, has there ever been an absolute gamble where you're like off the beaten path? Let me No one's asked for this, but I saw this and I'm gonna click and we're gonna go on an adventure. Has that ever sort of, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had one.
you had one.
Miley Cyrus.
No way, man. Come on. Really?
I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try something. I'm going to step away from my comfort zone and go for something I honestly God know nothing about.
Okay.
because
Wow.
it's Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And how?
I knew one of her songs, and that was Jolene.
Okay.
That is actually one I enjoyed. That's the one
Okay.
song I knew aside from the stuff that you hear on the radio, which I never listen to. Um, so of course I knew some songs, but like older ones. I never listened to. I haven't listened to the radio like properly for I think the last 5 years.
Wow. Wow. Well, you're
There's a
very
classic rock.
fortunate.
There's a classic rock radio station that I may tune in sometimes, but when I'm in the car, I listen to audiobooks.
Yep. Yep.
So
I dig that. My playlist before YouTube was all classic rock. In fact, that's how we started like the channels. Like I know I grew up with classic rock. Classic rock shaped my teenage years. Right? All the back roads and the trouble I got into, there was a classic rock soundtrack that fit that moment, you know. But I never had seen them live. None of these live. So I couldn't
nope.
even pick out the faces from the crowd if they were next to me. Like, did you know who that was? I couldn't tell you. So I was like, let me start on this classic rock journey and hopefully people will get behind it. And no one was there. No
Yeah.
one cared about it. And I was like, fair enough. Until someone in our community was like, why don't you check out Nightwish? I was like, all right, let's check out Nightwish. And
Yep.
then,
And I think about a month ago I did a Vikings Friday favorites episode where I
mhm.
did Queen's Live 8 performance 1985. That's the one when you have an audience that enjoy you for you,
Yeah,
and you. I'm like, I want to show you who shaped me.
yeah,
Like what band shaped me. I already recorded the second one, but I lost the footage. I have the audio, so I will overlay it with some video I download. So I will salvage that. But I have recorded the next Vikings Friday favorites, which is Tenacious D.
yes, man. Tell me that's a band that doesn't get enough love, man. I am so upset that they don't get the love they deserve. All right.
Jack Black is my absolute hero.
If there is a spirit animal out there, he is mine. He
Same.
100%. 100%, bro.
I love that guy.
He's he's untouchable. Not just and great voice, great talent,
But he
hilarious
doesn't
songs.
care. He just
And
doesn't care.
that's the most metal thing you could do is just
Weird
not
out.
care and just straight up, I'm me, sons of bitches. Like
But
take it
the
or leave it.
energy, like I'm wide, right? He's wide. Like he's a big guy. But the energy on stage, I've seen him live just before COVID hit. I saw them live
Yeah.
in Amsterdam, and the energy this guy has, like I couldn't do that. I would fall dead on the floor.
Yeah. He looks like he's running on a different power. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? A different type of energy that's not attainable. Like right now in my age.
insane.
Yeah, yeah, man.
And he's older than me. Yes, so that.
But okay, if I can, what is your favorite? I'll ask you two things. What is your
Mhm.
favorite Tenacious D song?
I don't think I have a favorite. I'm gonna have to pick the one I just recorded. It's Master Exploder.
That's a great one. That's a solid one. I do love the tribute. I love tribute, the greatest song in the world tribute. I think it's insanely well written and hilarious. And
Everything is.
yeah, everything is, man. And what is one of the you've seen the Pick of Destiny movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. Thank God. A lot of people haven't. A lot of people haven't,
Oh
dude.
come on, it's Jack Black.
Yeah. All right. What was your reaction when they had Dio in that? Did your jaw drop when you saw Dio in that movie, or did you know that they were gonna collab?
No, I didn't know, but I have to be very frank with you. I didn't know him.
Oh, okay, okay, no worries.
Because that's one of the things I was going to mention. Listening to radio, listening to all that music, I never heard. who the artist name was. I knew Queen, I knew the Beatles, and I never know names.
See, that's why I'm there with you, man. I'm there with you. Like for me,
Yeah,
instead of names is faces. Like if you showed me the
I'll
people from
recognize the
the
voice instantly.
like you show me a picture of the Who, right? And I would pass them at the grocery store. You know what I mean?
That's like the
I
one I wouldn't pass.
yeah. It's just like the Who. Yeah, I gotcha. So all right, man. So hear me out on this. The the so your PC is down currently, and it's about to be built up, being stronger. PC
Yeah.
2.0, right? How are you? Have you always been tech savvy? Have you always been like building your computers? Have like hands on tech? Is that your background, kind of?
Well, yeah. Well, as a kid, I used to take things apart and try to get it back together again. So
Okay.
in
Huh.
that sense, yes. But I also work in IT, so
Oh,
I kind of have to be tech savvy.
okay. There you go. There you go. Fair enough.
I am software tester and a scrum master for those that don't know. But
Oh, that's awesome, man. I Technology hates me. Like every day is a battle. Have you I've released reactions with no audio. Just silent movies. Just silent movies.
whoops.
The music's there and I'm just miming, you know?
Yeah,
And that's kind of, I don't know, man. I feel like I've had to cut my teeth throughout all the errors. Like
yeah.
this
But
is
that's how you
far.
learn. So that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Like I've made mistakes. I'm like where it says in brackets title or like I have that preview screen with the band and the title of the song, and it says band name and title. Whoops! Like the
Yes.
audio doesn't match. Like I record my audio and the song on different channels, so I can basically get them to the same level or make sure that you can actually hear it when I say something.
Yeah. I've had to wrestle with audio all the time. It's the
Audio
bane of
is a
my existence.
bitch.
It's the bane of my existence. In fact, I'm terrified to update any system because I've been burned by that. I've been burned
So
by it.
many times.
I'm just like, we could barely hear you. It's like, well, guess
Do,
what?
do you use one or two PCs for your streams or your recordings?
One. One.
Try getting two PCs, two separate PCs to talk. Audio going from one because when you stream, you get notifications. But I listen to my game on one PC and the stream is running on another PC. That one is
Yeah.
dying, by the way. So that's why this is possible.
Got it. Wow. Yeah, no, that's bro, that's for me, that's pro level. That's pro
That's
level.
that's
That's
why there
like,
is a mixer right there. So
yeah, you're on pro level stuff, man. And I commend you for that. I battled it like tooth and nail every
I
day.
have I had streams planned where it was 2 hours late because I couldn't get the freaking audio to come over.
Oh God. And I feel like audio is the most important thing, especially in
Yeah.
a reaction. It's not necessarily the video. I've seen, I mean, my God, one of my first Electric Callboy videos was possibly the worst capture on the internet. Like it looked like Bigfoot footage with a little bit of Electric Callboy, but the audio was
And the
fine.
occasional UFOs, right?
Yeah, occasional UFO, but I mean, I'm talking about choppy. Maybe my reaction was at like 12 FPS, just straight up, like terrible. And it's
And
been one of my,
whilst that isn't good, if you have a proper mic, like when they can actually hear you properly, it helps. What's
yeah,
the first thing that you get annoyed by is shitty audio. If you
yes,
have a crackling mic or really low voice, I'm out.
yeah. You have to perfect the sound. And a lot of people are like, well, what about the lighting? What about, like, no, make sure your sound's perfect. Make sure you get sound under control.
Those lights, I think I've had for half a year. I have two lights now, half a year.
Mhm.
That was the last investment.
Yeah,
This mic is the first thing I bought. I now finally have upgraded my camera because I had some issues with the green screen and some dark spots that didn't get filtered out.
yeah. I
That's why I got
just
the lights as well. But that was the last thing I upgraded, the lights.
yeah, the lighting game was absolutely nuts. Like for me, I couldn't get it. I could, but I was like, at least my audio's
Yeah,
fixed
I heard you talk
temporarily.
about the light behind you with Old School Nerd.
Oh yeah, you saw that.
That
It's
was
still it's
I
still
think that was a fix for some
uh,
issues you had.
oh no, it's still transing. It's still going it's still playing its own Euro dance beat right there. And that's fine. I'm like, it adds a little bit of a flavor to it, you know? And it just if I'm too boring, people can look at the background. And
At
that's
least
why it's so
they have
busy.
at least they have a show they can okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's how it goes. It's like when my personality sucks, at least there's something that you can pick out of the background and play I Spy.
Yeah, make your own music video, just add a beat to it.
Yeah, pretty much. But listen, man, like we I wanna do this again. I want to do this again. I want to have you back on. And I have this idea of like of getting a bunch of us together and kind of round tabling, just kind of sort of just talking about stuff. Just have a bunch of familiar faces for everyone in the community and park them in one spot. And I think that would be good. I think that'd be fun. I don't know what we talk about, but all of us have approachable personalities. And honestly, it's just a scheduling thing, because all of us
Always.
are busy. All of
And
us are
time
busy.
zones.
That's very true. Very true.
Because
Time
right
zones.
now it's 10:30.
Oh, well, well, with that, man, I really listen.
I don't care.
But I really do appreciate your time, and I'm very proud of your channel and your growth, man. And honestly, I'm a huge fan, and I will back you anything you got going on. If you need me to share something, just hit me up, and I'll put on the community post. That's another thing for those of you guys watching, right? One, thank you. We love you. Two, pay attention to the
Absolutely.
community posts. Literally, the community posts are great. It's amazing what's in the community posts. All right, just I had to get it out there. Community posts never get enough love, and it infuriates me, especially when they're like, "Well, what about this?" And you're like, "Did you read the community post? Where's the community post?" Like, want to pull your hair out, but
It's my deepest thoughts and
yeah,
issues and everything that's going on
yeah,
go into the community posts.
yeah. Going to the community post.
Because
It's
I feel they deserve to know, right? Like if something is going on, that's where you find out what's going on.
yes, yes. Nothing is more infuriating than someone asking you something you tackled in the community post when you're like, oh yes, I got this. This is one and done. Like, well, what about this? Like, oh, if you just, it's right there.
But
Swear
I
to God.
told you.
Yeah, I swear, it's in writing. It's right there. It has a picture of the computer chip on fire. It's right there. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I like what I'm going to post. What I'm going to add to this. Okay, well, this is basically what happened. So
Yeah, yeah. But no, man, I really appreciate what you're doing, man. And honestly, you yourself as a dad, man, I'm proud of you being there, and honestly, you're leaving a legacy for your kids to see you eventually someday, or if they watch you now. I'm not, it's really cool to see. Like, let's say if my parents had this, it'd be so fun to see my parents do something
absolutely.
like this. And you're leaving a recorded legacy for your kids to see their dad doing something they absolutely love. And that to me is the most important thing, because no
Yeah.
matter how long we are meant for this plane of existence, you know that your kids can see you at any moment, and that's the
Yeah.
coolest thing.
In about 5 years, they will be weirded out because they're teenagers then, and right
And then
because that is being an idiot. But
yeah,
in like 20 years, it's something else.
yeah, it's something else. They're like, oh, dad was chasing his dreams. And that's kind of what that to me is the most important thing, but anyway, listen, man, I do really do appreciate your time and jumping on this channel. We have to make it happen again. um like I tell everyone, you have the keys to the channel. Just let me know when, any kind of announcement, anything you want me to share, go ahead, ask me. I'll put it up on the community post, man. And
Just
guys, if you're watching, go check out Viking Reacts. Like,
and
so,
do
so-
set that thing up. Just make sure that we get to talk with loads of people and share our thoughts.
yeah, I would love that. Just kind of a big, like, you know what? People are too. I feel like people might just want a solid, like solid faces that are always there. Like, no, I would love it to be a like a revolving thing.
Of
You know,
course,
something new person. You know, because given the schedules, it has to be fluid. It has to be completely fluid. It can't
absolutely.
be structured at all. You know, but
No, I'm terrible with structure, but
oh yeah,
just look at my upload schedule. You'll see.
yeah, you have one. I don't.
I don't.
I just like it should go out. It should go out. Like you'll see when
Yeah,
I have a great day because I'll flood the notifications with 3 videos.
yeah.
Usually not.
It's
That's not
good
the
for the algorithm, but
yeah
I just don't have the energy.
yeah yeah. But no, man. Listen, is there anything else you want to share with the people watching the community? Anything
Just a
going on?
very huge, and I'm going to look in the camera now because I'm just looking at your face, trying to read you as
Yeah,
well.
don't look at my face. Trust me.
Ah, come on, it's not that bad. It's not
Hey,
that
man.
bad.
It's funny that you mentioned my morning mantra when I look in the mirror. It's like it's not terrible. We can make it
It's,
another day.
it could be better. It could be worse, but
No, we'll
no.
go with this look. I got it.
Yeah, it can't really change it anymore. Like I could shave, but I don't want to do that to my
No,
community,
no,
so
no.
let's not. But the only thing I will mention is that to everybody who's watching this and who has actually contributed over the past few days, when I mentioned that my PC was dying, thank you very much. It's overwhelming. It's I feel a lot of love, and it's just insane to basically flip my perspective around and get to let you help me and let like basically let you share the love and show that love instead of me just making videos and thanking you for watching. I'm not sure if that made any sense, but just thank you.
I it worked for me, man. And that was beautiful. And guys, make sure you check out that video because honestly, that's one of the best videos on YouTube, man. Is
It's
your
the most
your
awkward
thank you.
video.
Yeah, definitely. But that's what makes it so beautiful. Is it's just so awkward. Like you could tell, it, it was a foreign thing for you. And I was like, yeah, man,
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome. It speaks loads about the community we're in. You know, and
it's very
that's
weird.
it's definitely weird, but we're very fortunate. And honestly, man, because of the community, we connected. You know, because of the community,
Yep.
we connected, and this was able to happen. You know,
Yep.
and
And
that's
you mentioned it like you look into the camera. We kind of live in the shadows, and at some point, suddenly there's a ray of sunlight that's coming your way. I'm like, what happened? That doesn't happen usually.
yeah, no, not at all,
It's
man.
weird.
It's weird, man. But guys, for all you guys watching, please check out Viking Reacts. Awesome dude, awesome channel, great community. And this is what I tell a lot of people is make sure not only just subscribe to a channel, but be part of the community. It's a two different things, two
That's the most fun
massively
thing.
different things. You know, it's the community is everything. You know, I feel like you're part of the community. You're in the channel. You're not just a sub. You're part of the community. You're a person with valid comments and all like input. And we love that. We love that. It makes our community that
There's
much bigger.
entire WhatsApp groups now simply because of my Dan Vusk videos.
There you go.
That's
There
that's
you go.
they found each other, and at some point they just started talking.
Hey, you know,
It's
I
weird.
feel like on lives, and I've mentioned this on lives, they just talk amongst themselves because they know each other. You know, and it's just amazing to like step back out of yourself for a second and watch what's happening. You're like, dang, this is amazing. Like, this is what I wanted. You know, people recognizing each
I
other.
have my own hashtag now. Hashtag
What?
metal giggle.
Metal giggle? Yes,
Yeah,
I must use that. I
'cause I
must use
giggle
that.
too much.
Oh, just giggle too much. Got it. That's dope. But listen, thank you again for all you guys watching. Listen, this is what I kind of wanted to do. I want to try to bring this community in a little bit closer, together, and prove to everyone that we're not our own individual islands. We are part of this community as well. And hopefully, like what we mentioned today, hopefully, it can get something like that happening where we can all sit down and have a crazy looking panel show, and have some fun and talk about bullshit. Because I
Oh,
feel
that's what
like
I do best.
yeah, I feel like that's what we all do best. That's like our go to, honestly. But anyway, much love again, Viking Reacts. We got to have you back on. And listen, everyone, make sure you unplug, do something legendary, and I'll see you over on Viking Reacts in the comment section. All right.
Absolutely.
And again,
But
thank you, man.
unplug, I like that.
All right, guys, much love. I'll see you all.